Hi there, welcome to Let's Talk Tottenham. Oh dear, they don't make it easy for us, do they? Tottenham 2-0 down, and then we start playing. We have to be 2-0 down, 1-0 down, playing god-awful to start playing football. But I suppose it was a good half hour, good 50 minutes, 40 minutes, sorry. But Marseille next, huge game tomorrow. Two great guests with me. Ben, how you doing, buddy?
Doing all right. Slightly recovering for a bit of shit that's happening over the last week, but we're fine. We're all good. We were back in the shop today, and we're ready to have some fun and talk about something that's not going to be very nice, is it? It's going to be... But it's always great to share the panel with two great people. So let's go.
Pleasure having you on. And likewise, first time on the show. How you doing?
Yeah,
buddy?
first time. Yeah, I'm good, man. Just a bit tired, and Spurs are still stressing me out, so we'll talk about that in a minute.
Well, that's happening for the rest of your life, I'm afraid. You made that decision early doors. Thanks everybody for watching. Please hit the like and the subscribe. Before you go, please get your comments in, questions, topics to discuss. But let's start off. So Ben, another terrible first half, and you can probably link that into the first 5 minutes of the second half as well. What is it that why do we start? So Conte has come out and said that he's telling the team to play quickly. Kane famously, didn't he, said during Mourinho's time, Mourinho tells us to play quickly and we don't as players. I mean, slow bloody learners. It's been 2 years. But why are we starting so slow in games and having to wait until we're under the cosh 1-0, 2-0 down to start playing football?
I'm going to keep it short and sweet. The players are not good enough. They're physically not good enough. I would say something a bit more...
But they must be good enough for half an hour. They are playing quickly, so they've got it within themselves to play quickly. They're just deciding not to. Or Conte's...
They don't have the mentality. Players like Eric Dier, Davinson Sanchez, Ben Davis, Ryan Sessegnon, they are not good enough at this level. They are just not good enough. You could. I wasn't a fan of Longley even. The people have been telling me how good a centre-back Longley was. Did you see how badly he got turned by Dominic Solanke? This wasn't prime Romelu Lukaku from Inter Milan or Didier Drogba. This was Solanke. Solanke from Bournemouth. Players are not good enough to play for Tottenham. So no wonder they're starting slowly. It's every other team rotates up their squad for a game like Bournemouth if we're playing in the Champions League. We cannot, because our second string of players are so bad. They are so unbelievably bad. It's not even funny anymore. It's gone beyond that sort of Monty Python style. It's now just like, help me. Please help me. We are so in the shit with some of these players, and just that until we get them out, this is going to continue. It's a quote from the old manager: "Same players again. It's the same players that let 3 managers down, and we've got to change them."
Has you in agreement, or do you think Conte's maybe not telling the truth when he says I'm telling them to play quickly?
Well, it's hard to disagree with Ben, to be honest with you. But I want to add on something, because I've asked the same question sort of to some other people about this: as why do you think we have to concede to start playing? So I think partly, because Ellie pointed this out to me, maybe she thinks that they're arrogant. So they think they're better than they are. I think they can just turn up at some like Bournemouth, just cruise and win the game.
I don't get that, because we don't turn up against anyone in the first half. We don't
not as in literally turn up, obviously not, but like as in they turn up there and they think, oh, we can just walk the game.
Yeah, we have had history of that. I think anyway. There's been certain games against what you consider lesser opposition on paper anyway, that it looks like we've just thought we've won this game, then we get a bit of a surprise in the first half.
Yeah.
But yeah,
as
he says, at least the women won 8-0, so the women are doing stuff.
They are the Spurs ladies.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's what I think. I do think it's mentality obviously is an issue too. So, but it's more. I think it's more worrying the fact that Conte's telling them to do that, to play quickly, and they're not.
I think it's Is it not up to people like the Canes, the Suns? Bentancur obviously came on, so it's not up to him, but he has been in the starting lineup for Newcastle and Man United, where we had this problem. And the European game, I can't remember who that was against now. Not Frankfurt, Sporting Lisbon. So, Ben, is it not up to these top players? Because those 3 are top players, I think, in this team. to drag them through, or were they not good enough at doing that? Do they not have the mentality? And we're talking about Harry Kane here.
One thing Kuva, as I think Kuva is absolutely spot on with this. Big up Kuva.
Yeah. How you doing, Graham?
Big up Graham. We don't have a real leader in that team. And not a single one of those players is a leader in that team. Our captain should not be in goal. The captain should be on the pitch. Yeah. And we don't have someone that the players are terrified of. We don't have a Roy Keane. We don't have a Patrick Vieira. We don't have even maybe a bit of a crap player. We don't have a Mark Noble, someone that's going to say, right, you are going to turn up today. We don't have a leader in that team. We are rudderless. We've got players that lead by example, but not by players that bark out orders and say, right, we're going to do this. We're going to push forward. We're going to do this. As much as Eric Dier is that he shouts a lot, but he doesn't actually shout anything reasonable or anything productive.
I just feel like he blames everyone else when he makes mistakes as well.
We need someone that's going to direct traffic. Right, we're going to do this. We need a leader on the pitch. We need a Steve Perryman. We need a Dave Mackay sort of figure that might not be the greatest of footballers. We need someone that's going to lead the team. And we haven't got any leaders. Kane, for me, is not a leader that barks out orders. Sonny is not someone that leads by example. Even Højbjerg, as much as he likes to scream and shout and says, oh, look how I'm a general, he's not a leader either for them. They lead by example, but they do not lead a bunch of men. And that's what we need as a football squad. So that's one thing I would be looking at. And we need to change our captain as well, in my book. I've been saying it for the last 2 weeks. We need to change our captain.
I mean, has anyone in that team who has got the potential to be that leader that Ben's talking about? Or do you think no one?
I think the only one who has a little bit of leadership is probably Højbjerg. That's about it.
I don't see it. I just see someone that screams and shouts. But we need someone that's going to say, right, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to hurt them. This is their weak spot. We don't. Conte can only, as soon as they cross the white line, Conte can't do anything.
But for me, our biggest issues are centre backs
as well,
and the wing backs, and because the centre backs like the spine of the team, right? So back in the day, we used to have someone like Ledley King,
or Dawson, right? Who is the perfect example. I want
someone like that.
Ledley King didn't scream and shout, did he? But from all accounts,
he had a Dawson or a Woodgate who did scream and shout. Right, you do this, you go there, you stay here. We got no one that directs.
Fucking Eric Dier.
Yeah, great Eric Dier.
I think Bentancur
to run a bath, let alone a team.
I think Bentancur could be that guy. I think Benny and Dier changed the game. We'll come to Dier a bit later on, but I mean, let's just cheer everybody up for 1 second. This was at the end of the game. So
I mean, Bentancur was unreal.
I feel he could be that leader in that team. I'll start with you, Haz. I think he could be that leader that Ben's talking about, that, not just lead by example, which he's doing at the moment. Certainly when he came on, he sped the play up and a lot more fast-paced and faster tempo. But in terms of the shouting, I think he's still young, new to this team. So when he gets his real feet in the door, I think he could become that leader, but he's been crucial for us this season and large part of last season when he turned up. But can he be that leader? How good do you think he is? And he changed the game, did he not, for you?
I mean, for me, of course, he was. I think until Bentancur came on, I wasn't confident we're going to win the game. And then he came on and changed the game. But also, for me, Bentancur has been our best player this season by a mile. I don't think
not Emerson
disagree with me about that.
Not Emerson.
but as a leader, like the good thing about Bentancur, because he's had experience with Juventus and he's won trophies and that sort of thing, I can see the argument for that. But if he's going to be the leader, he has to start every single game, regardless of who we're playing against. Because obviously he came off the bench the other against Bournemouth. Like you're gonna have to make him like the club captain. He has to start every game.
He won't be the club captain, will he, when Hugo stops? If he's still there, it's going to be Kane, isn't it, to try and convince him to stay, which Højbjerg wouldn't be a bad shout. But Bentancur, for me, Ben, is becoming a fan's favourite. And he's obviously scored 2 in 2 now. Yeah, he scored 2 in 2 now, which you don't associate him with the goal, certainly last season when he turned up. But for me, he changed that game. Dier as well. We'll talk about him a little bit as well in a bit. But yeah, Bentancur, we were so slow. Sessegnon said it on Match of the Day, and then the pundits were saying it as well. So slow, no tempo. Bentancur comes on, tempo instantly picks up. The rest of the players filter into that kind of mindset, and they're playing quicker as well. And then, I mean, since we got the first goal, I didn't think there was going to be any other team that was a winner because we were all over them. And largely, I think, due to Bentancur and speeding that play up.
Yeah. I mean, I think Bentancur could be club captain. I saw it from the moment he stepped on the pitch for the first time. Players he's never played with before. He's like, all right, you go there. You go there. I'm going to be here. So he does direct traffic. He is a conductor of the field. He was integral in Juventus's last title win. That's how long ago. It was a long time ago, and he was very young. When was Juventus' last title win? 3-4 years ago now? Probably 3 years ago. Under Sarri. I can't remember when it was.
So it'd have been about 2021. He's about 24 now, isn't he?
He is a conductor.
Yeah, I think so.
He is telling people where to go. And most importantly, he's got quality. He's got quality, and it shows that immediately him and Højbjerg get on. They're not a famous partnership, but they're a functional duo. All they need is players behind them that are going to be solid, and that's a good solid basis of a team, especially if we're playing wing backs. He's just a brilliant player. I don't think people realise how good he's going to be, and he's adding goals to his game. People would say, he's not really someone that gets goals, but he can dictate the play. He's getting goals now, 3 goals this season, along with. If he adds goals to his game, he's going to be a hell of a player. I mean, 18 million quid. That's an amazing bargain.
I think with the goals, he obviously there were 3 in midfield when he scored the 2 goals against Sporting and this one as well. So I think Basuma, I can't remember who was the third midfielder against Sporting. It must have been Basuma. Skipp. Yeah. So and Basuma yesterday on Saturday. So I think Skipp, Basuma, whoever it is sit back and you allow Bentancur to get forward. The Leicester, not Leicester, Everton's goal. They didn't score against them. What the fuck are we talking about? The second goal against Everton, Bentancur to Højbjerg, I think Basuma was on then and allows them to go forward. And like Ben's saying, getting goals in his game, and Højbjerg seems to have been practicing his finishing. So it's just strange, isn't it? We play with 3 in the midfield. We look so much better against Everton, then play it the next game, look bloody awful.
It's to do with the quality of the team. It's not to do with the system.
The quality of the wing backs.
Yeah.
Do you think Conte? Do you think Conte is still, in a sense, certainly in that midfield, working out his best team in that midfield?
I think he knows his duo, as in if he was playing a 3-4-3, or he knows the 2 midfielders he would start with 99% of the time, Højbjerg and Bentancur. But as for wing backs, I still don't think he has a preferred pairing or preferred 2.
No,
even his defense, I don't think he knows. But even his defense, like the centre backs, I don't think, apart from Dier, who unfortunately has to start for us because we have no one else, I don't think he's convinced with like the right side or the left hand side either, because Longley and Davies rotate a lot.
He's convinced with Romero, but he's injured. Unfortunately, it looks like he might be
bloody
injured
Sanchez
at Marseille as
on the
well.
weekend. But like for me, like the wing backs is the biggest issue. Like I agree with Ben. If we don't have quality wing backs, we can't play this system. Well, we can, but it just won't work.
We play the system just poorly.
Yeah, it's just rubbish.
Yeah. It's those wing backs because they create the angles. They go forward and they create the triangles, so they can pass it and then they can pass it. And then you play the 3 at the back and then the 2. It's like whenever you watch a Pep Guardiola system, even though they're playing this free flowing football system and what have you, they've always got 5 at the back. They've always got a 2 and a 3, whether it's one of the fullbacks or they've always got a 2 and a 3 just in case it breaks. And that's our system in a way, but our wing backs are awful. It's not creating any space. They're not pushing any of the team back, which means it's all suckered into that central area, which means we get overrun in midfield. But our centre backs, when we have the ball, one of them should go into midfield and add another angle, whether it's Longley or whether it's whoever the right side of the centre back is. Romero does it very well, but that third centre back goes into midfield and can pass the ball, and that's how the system works in a way. But our wing backs are so poor that you can't do that. Our good points are being suckered because the bad points are so bad.
Yeah, I mean, Mark Cousin here says, has Royal got some dodgy picks of Conte to keep getting a game? We'll be talking about Emerson a bit later, but
okay.
One player did take his position and for like 1 minute was far better. And that is Eric Dier. He put one cross in, which resulted in a shot, which went for a corner, which is one more cross that's gone to a player than Emerson has done for a year.
Yeah.
I don't understand how he still gets a game. I don't hate the guy. He's trying. He's just not very good, unfortunately. But Dier was obviously the centre-back. He just went out there. But lovely interplay between him and Moura, and then Son gets a shot away. Good save. And yeah, I mean, I can't put him out there because then who goes in the middle? Sanchez? No, thank you.
I'd rather see Lucas there or Kulusevski at right wing back, to be honest.
Spence, I don't know what Spence has to do. Like for me, Spence is an attacking wing back, which is the Conte style wing back, attacking and
it's politics as well, though, with Spence. I think.
Well, yeah, but that stubbornness has got to go away. Like he's your player now, whether you like it or not, and you know he's part of your squad.
But
if the
I want
others
to say
aren't
something
doing
else about Spence for me, because everyone seems to thinking that he's like our savior. I'm not saying he's not going to be successful if he plays again with us, right? But you need to look for me at Sessegnon, yeah? He came in and he's been here for what, 3-4 years or something? I don't know. And we still don't think he's good enough.
Years.
Yeah, we still don't think he's good enough. And he's been for 3-4 years from the Championship. He played regularly.
We'll be talking about him a bit later on as well.
But like, so you can't. For me, I don't understand. I understand people want to see Spence, but it's almost like
different.
It's something different. But at the same time, I don't see him as like our savior. Like it would probably.
Is it not, Ben? Because there's two people over there who aren't doing the business. Give him a shot.
Well, I give Lucas a go there. At least he played there a bit in the pre-season.
I don't trust Moura to run a Bath either. I think Lucas Moura he doesn't belong anywhere near this team. I know he had a good game against Bournemouth. He's crap.
I don't think he's got the mentality or discipline to stay there. He goes running around all sorts. He needs discipline to stay as a wing back.
I saw many things against Sporting. He can't pass a ball 2 yards. Every single time he does get a ball, it's after he's let the ball go and fallen over. He's awful. He should have been gone 4 years ago, and he's still in the squad. It's mind numbing. The only reason I can see Jed Spencer's not playing, one, is he's not athletic enough, which is a part, even though he wants attacking wingbacks, they've got to be athletic. So he's not fit enough yet. He's not done a full pre-season because of Daniel Levy signing him, taking 8 months to sign him, even though he was only 12 million quid, which is bizarre. And he's not tactically ready yet. It's just like Basuma. They've got to be. We can't have naive players in this team. When you're
how do they get tactically knowledgeable? Surely by playing. You can get it done in training, but there's no substitute for match experience and
as well. But he needs to learn it in training as well. They've got to be saying this is where you go at this point. This is where you go at this point. It's almost like choreography. They've got to know all the ins and outs. When they lose the ball, X, Y, and Z, they go here. Football was now a science, no longer a simple game, unfortunately. I'd like to see Spence play. I think we will see him against Forest. I think he'll play.
Definitely. Yeah.
I think that's a definite, and that's a good idea to play him to see what he can do. But I just don't think he's fully fit. Going from the Championship to the Premier League is a massive leap. Yeah. I know it's only the league below, but it's like it's apples and oranges. It's a completely different league. It's so different that it could be swallowed. If he makes a mistake, that's the end of him. Everyone's going to be on his back. It's the end of his career already. We cannot. We should
someone like Troy Parrott that everyone's calling Mourinho to play him. We played him, and he wasn't very good. And
then we say, why is he not good enough? It was because he's 19. He's a twig. He needs to grow up. he needs to get some chilling in him.
No, what I'm saying is that obviously we have a history of this. I wasn't one of those people about Troy Parrott, but I'm saying the general Twitter sphere, right? They'll call every day. All I read about is Spence, and it's like I remember where the same was with Parrott, right? And we played Parrott, and then he wasn't that great, and then obviously he's been loaned out for like a year or two now. But it's what I'm trying to say is, in like we might think we know Spence is like going to be better than Emerson, but he might play and be awful, and then Twitter will go ballistic either way.
And then he'll lose all his confidence, and that's the end of his career.
I think it's a dead cert that he'll be starting against Forest.
I think so too.
I think that's I know we say it's only the League Cup, and I want to win the League Cup because then it's a cup. But it's good. They're just promoted, brand new players and everything like that. It's a good chance to play him there, see what he can do. So I'd be amazed if he doesn't start in that game.
Yeah, I'd play him
against
Forest. It's a great place to play him. He knows the crowd. The crowd are not going to be on his back because he used to play there. And it might be on his back, but if they are, it's not his fault that Forest didn't go inside him. It's not his fault. He knows that pitch because he's played on there last season. He's going to be in familiar territory, but he just needs to get used to the teammates. He just needs an arm around him and just say, I mean, he's a kid at the end of the day. How old is he? 20, 21?
Something like that. 21. Yeah.
21, I think. Maybe younger, 20, maybe even 19. He's a baby in this game that we've got to look after him. And Rome wasn't built.
22.
Sorry, it's still a baby for. He needs to have a long time, and he needs to get into the spin of this team because you're playing in the big leagues now. And you're not playing for a championship team. You're playing in the Premier League with some of the greatest players on the planet. You can't just be forced in. I know Twitter likes to think it's right, but Twitter is always wrong for the most part. But you can't just. These are kids. One wrong mistake and it's the end of their career. We've got to be careful with him because I think he can be an absolute superstar if we manage him correctly, if we coach him correctly, we let him dip his toe in, so to speak.
Yeah, it'd be interesting what he does against Forest, and we've only seen him in like 2-3 minute cameos or whatever. But one person I did want to talk about, we've discussed him already. I know you two probably aren't a fan. Sessegnon. I like Sessegnon. I'm definitely the only one on this panel who likes Sessegnon, but
at least you know.
His goal, I thought he took well for me.
Yeah.
Certainly, our wing backs are struggling in a sense. Doherty is exactly the same. They're making good runs. It's just we're not quick enough and we're ignoring them. But yet Emerson plays and they can't wait to give the ball to the guy who can't do anything with it. But against Man United, Newcastle, or Doherty, certainly Man United, Doherty made some really good runs. And then whoever has the ball turns around, passes it backwards, and then it goes. Sessegnon does the same. The Bournemouth goal was the first time I've seen him make a good run and someone play it into him. And he finished it very well. I think with Sessegnon, Ben, it's a confidence issue, which obviously you're at Tottenham, you're in the Champions League, we're trying to win things. You can't really be carrying passengers, and certainly confidence. Although Conte has said that the confidence isn't there for the team, that's why we're playing so slow. But anyway. But I mean, that goal should do him the world of good confidence-wise. It doesn't help him the fact that our wing backs keep being swapped over. I'd start him against Marseille. For me, I'd put Perisic on the right and Sessegnon on the left because no one on the right can fucking do anything. Sessegnon, give him a chance, give him a run in the team. But how do you rate him against Bournemouth and him overall? Or do you think, like Has said, been here 4 years, time to let him
One
go?
thing I'll say about Sessegnon, though, isn't I have seen some improvement this season. It's just, for me, the one thing that's holding him back, the difference between, say, him and Perisic is Perisic can actually take on players. And put across like that.
But I think that's confidence. I think if Sess has confidence, he's far quicker than Perisic. He would take him on. I think it's just confidence, which hopefully this gives him.
I know, but we keep hearing this like every few months, and it's like, oh, he's good confidence. He's going to now take on players, and then I go to a game and I'm still screaming at him to take on a player. But anyway, but as in at least his runs as well, it's been added to his game. That wasn't there last season. I don't think as much.
It might be something he's been working on.
It's
2 points. It shows how poor our left and right centre-backs are. They are poor because that is their job, is to push the ball into the channel for the wing-backs. I saw it so many times against Sporting with Perisic was darting forward, like amazing runs, and then Ben Davies wouldn't pass it. And then
he passes it backwards.
Mental. Put the ball there. Put the ball there. That is your job. Your job is to put that ball in that area so I can run onto it. The only player that does it in our centre backs is Romero. He's the only player that really does it because that's what they're supposed to do because he knows that system. But Sessegnon, I don't rate him as a player. His crossing is not good enough. I saw it against Sporting. The reason we were so toothless against Sporting was because of Sessegnon not being able to cross a ball. So many opportunities to cross a ball, like easy crosses, and him fluffing it, which is not good enough for me. There's loads of people that like Sessegnon, of course. It's a good goal. Really decent goal. You could say it was a deflection, but it went in the back of the net. So that's all I give a fuck about. I don't care if it's pinned ball. Gone straight in. If he's done a Rabona, if he's like, as long as it goes between those white sticky things, I'm happy. That's it. Get the ball, put it in the back of the net, and that's what he did. So I'm happy for him. Hopefully, it spurs him on, so to speak. But we need to improve. I think our left centre, Perisic, still doesn't look fully fit to me, which is why he's been rushed back because he wasn't fully fit at the start of the season. He had a bad injury. But Perisic is a very good option. So against Marseille, I play Perisic on the left and Sessegnon on the right because it seemed to work. It did work at the end.
And those two can all interchange, can't they, during the game? So, that would be my two wing backs, to be perfectly honest, because Royal...
Shit.
Well, we'll talk about him later, but so I can't bother to bring myself down talking about him in this second. But yeah, I think Sessegnon got a lot more of the ball in dangerous areas in that last half hour when we were playing quickly. And like I said, there certainly Doherty against Man United, but making good runs, and no one. It's not the fact that no one can find him; it's they're not even looking to find him when we're playing this slow tempo. I think someone like a Doherty, if he plays, probably won't, but certainly Sessegnon, if we're playing quick, I think that suits him down to the ground because he will make those runs. And in that last half hour, everyone was finding the whether it was Dier or Moura on that right-hand side at the end and Sessegnon on the left. It was Perisic on the right, wasn't it? And Sessegnon and Perisic switched. But they were finding them time and time again. That's why we look so dangerous. But, I mean, has Marseille, who would you play as the wing-backs?
I mean, it's hard to argue against Perisic and Sessegnon because
Perisic.
Yeah. Harrison, that's a new combination. But because we just don't have anything on the right at all.
No, I think Doherty would be good there because that is his position.
Like Doherty,
it's just he never gets the game.
He makes those runs, but he's never found. He makes those direct runs, but he's never found. But again, he's not good enough as well. He's better than Emerson.
Average at best.
Not saying a lot. This cleaning cloth is better than Emerson. Big up, Ray-Ban.
But I mean, let's bring ourselves down.
Christ.
That's all you need to say. Let's bring a picture up. It's him apologising because he's got in the team ahead of Doherty.
He's no look pass.
I mean, this is a guy. I don't hate him. I just don't think he's good enough by any stretch. He's not a good footballer, is he? I like his endeavour. He tries. He spent a lot of money to try and improve and everything like that. I appreciate that and respect that. He's just not good enough. But we insist on giving him the ball. But yet we don't.
Why? Because he's always the one left in space, Chris.
I didn't even think of that. But I mean, how does he? Whichever one of you want to go for. How the hell does he get in the team? The Arsenal. I thought the red card was a bit harsh, but it was a stupid challenge. 3 games out. Doherty didn't do too bad. You argue Man United didn't do well, but no one did well in that one. And then straight back in. How the hell does he get straight back in the team? I don't understand it.
Maybe Mark was in the chat. I don't know.
Realistically, Doherty shouldn't be playing. He shouldn't move. I mean, kudos to him for getting back so quickly from this injury. He shouldn't
be awful injury
until December. So the fact he's even playing is a godsend. It's like he's been having something, I don't know, many chicken soups or something or other. He shouldn't be fit, and he clearly isn't fit. Otherwise, I'd be playing him every week. He mustn't be fully fit. He mustn't be fit at all. But he's clearly
not playing.
Doherty is better than 100% Emerson, but they're both shit in my opinion. We need to replace both our right wing. Just get rid of both of them. They're both not good enough.
Yeah. Why does he insist on playing him? Can you figure it out, or is Mark spot on the money?
I think Ben has partly a point in terms of Doherty being rushed back and stuff like that because
we do that a lot. Manage
his minutes based on his fitness. I don't know about his fitness issues. I don't know how fit he is or not fit he is. And then also you got Spence who refuses to play, so because he's not his signing. So who you got left? Emerson. So it's like. And then obviously he's tried play Sessegnon and Perisic there, but then for me, when he switches Perisic to the right, Perisic is so bad on the right. I'm sorry, he's just so bad.
Yeah, he's awful.
So
his ability is because he's right-footed, but he's amazing with his left foot, so he can cut in on both sides. He doesn't have, although he could do that on the right-hand side, he's lost that party trick of it using his natural foot to cut in.
Yeah.
But also, he's lost a bit of pace as well, isn't he? Perisic.
He's not the same Perisic for 5 years.
He's not fully fit either. He's had a bad injury.
This is what I mean. That's why Emerson keeps getting minutes, because if our fullback's not fully fit, we've got no one else. We've got no one else. Who else we got?
He's not a spring chicken for playing wing back. He's still better than all of our fullbacks put together. He's got 6 assists this season, so big up to him. And he's not fully adjusted to this league. It's a much quicker league than Italy. And he had a solid base at Italy. You've gone from Bastoni, De Vrij,
Dier, Davies and Sanchez.
To Eric Dier, Ben Davies, Emerson Royale,
and Lloris as well, who's been having his howlers this season.
Oh my God,
you've gone from a brilliant defensive unit to shite, and people were expecting you to defend. It's like, what's this? I didn't defend it inside. I didn't need to. I've got 5 awesome defenders behind me. And people fan me. So, but still 6 assists, which is wonderful. 6 assists.
Yeah. Set piece really delivery, is it? Yeah, I was just going to say.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No, you carry on.
Yeah, so like his corners are just unbelievable. And also, for me, his crossing is like, I've never seen a fullback at Tottenham cross as well as he has, to be honest with you. Yeah.
I think with Emerson, I think he was a fullback. We play with wing backs. I think Conte thought I can coach him into a wing back and improve his crossing and everything like that. And I mean, enough has to be enough now. Give Doherty a run. I just don't understand how he keeps getting. I mean, he's obviously young, so he's got a good engine getting up and down, which you obviously need for a wing back as well. You go certainly in the Conte team because you attack a lot. You've got to be able to get back quickly, but. Enough's enough now, but he's gonna carry on playing him. I don't know why we're asking the question here. We know he's gonna carry on playing him
unless we sign someone in January. Fingers crossed.
I mean, even then, he'll still play the bloke.
We need to sign Dumfries. I'd love to sign.
Hakimi. But that's not.
No, Hakimi's too expensive. 80 million. It's too much money. Too much money. As much as I'd like to have Hakimi, enough is enough, and that is. He's not a good footballer. He's not good for this team. It's just like, it's madness. And back to the corner. I can't believe Tottenham are good at corners. I've watched Tottenham for the majority of my life, and we haven't been good at corners ever.
That's true.
I have to say as well, though,
we're only good at corners. It's madness. We're brilliant at corners.
I do have to say as well, Perisic has obviously been fantastic with his delivery for free kicks and corners, but Son's had a terrible season for his standards, but his delivery for corners and everything, I think, has been top drawer as well. Yeah. The one for Benny's goal, I mean, it was nowhere going to score that header with that glancing header because there were too many people there, but it was right on his head. And there's
just
been
so you
others
guys know,
well.
Sess, Richarliuson and Romero have all been ruled out for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Who's the third one?
Romero.
Yeah. We're losing.
Kulu and Richarlison.
We're losing.
But we'll talk about the Marseille game a bit. But I think
I thought I'd just bring it up. That's all right.
Oh no, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Kulu's a huge miss in this team. It wouldn't surprise me if they are fit or getting back to fitness. Stick him on the bench for Liverpool. Certainly with Richarlison. I'm not sure about Kulu or Romero, but I mean Kulu. How I mean, you could argue we didn't miss him against Bournemouth because we won it in the end, but Sporting we should have won. But I mean, there's no doubt he is a huge miss. Certainly in the first halves, he's the only one who gets the ball and is positive. There's no what's behind me. Behind me is grass. I don't care about that. In front of me is a defender who I can skin, and then I can make something happen. So we are definitely missing him.
I mean, for me, Kulusevski, right? So because Kulusevski's not playing in the 3, there's more emphasis on Kane to create. Now, when Kulusevski plays, at least he's like the chief creator, right? So he'll come inside. His deliveries are unbelievable.
Yeah,
and also, like I say, for me, he's our most creative player. So when he's out, we miss him. And I think Kane, Son, and Kulusevski is more natural, because they're all a bit different.
Yeah,
like when Richarlison was playing on the right. Number one, Richarlison's not a right winger. Like he can play there, but it's his worst position. And obviously we've tried Lucas there, which is nowhere near the right quality. And then he's had obviously, so the alternatives to no Kulusevski is really bad, which I think has kind of forced us to play a 3-5-2 as well.
Yeah.
Because just without Kulusevski, there's a lot less creativity.
Yeah.
It's not just that. It's he runs with the ball. He's the only player in our team that can get a ball and run with it. Which
his first thought is to make something happen rather than first thought look back.
Forwards. That's the difference.
Yeah.
So we really missed him a lot.
Do you think we'll see him before the World Cup in a Spurs shirt? I'm not.
No, in Tottenham, no.
Possibly against Leeds.
You think so?
Yeah, I think possibly against Leeds. But Richarlison reminds me, if you're familiar with the history of Myanmar or Burma as it was then, they used to drive on the right-hand side of the road. Or no, the left-hand side of the road like we used to hear. And in one evening, the leader of the country went, my country is getting too much this way, so I'm going to force everyone to drive on the right side of the road. It reminds me of it's Richarlison's situation. He's played in the centre or the left his entire career. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a spanner in the works and play him on the right just to piss everyone off. It's madness. He's a
it's
right.
Tottenham, though.
It's bizarre. It's bizarre.
You've got Kane up top, who's the best striker in the world for me. I know Haaland's doing what Haaland's doing, but Kane would be doing exactly the same if he was at City. Son's the best left winger in the world. Maybe not so much this season, but in terms of his ability, he is. So the only place to put Richarlison is on the right. But
you put
what
Son on the right, Richarlison on the left.
Yeah.
Just something different.
Sonny's not good on the right either. They need to interchange. That's the magic thing.
Personally, what I would do if those 3 were playing, I'd play Kane as a 10 and play those 2 as strikers. But that's just how I would do.
I'd play Kulusevski as a 10 personally because I quite like the 3-5-2, but I'd have Kulusevski in the hole. That's why, because he's got the power. He's got the power. He's got the strength. He's got the tenacity to grab the ball and run with it. And then he can always rotate as always. Son is playing too central for me. He needs to start. I don't like this. Loads of idiots that don't watch football or they only support one footballer instead of supporting the football club in the whole. Sonny and Perisic don't have a problem together. There is something he's been told, Sonny, that he's got to be more central. Perisic and Sonny against Sporting were interchanging a lot. Sometimes Perisic was going in, sometimes Sonny. That's got to be more often. They've got to interchange as a pair, and that will work. But Sonny's too central for me. He's always getting the ball with his back to goal, and that's not what he's good at. Because even though he's 30, he's still got his pace with him, but he's not running at players.
And he's dropping too deep as well.
Yeah, he's dropping too deep. He's not running at players. So he needs to be closer to goal. I don't know why that is.
He needs to play like Kulusevski does. Kulusevski always gets it facing up to his defender. And then he either goes inside, goes outside, has a shot, puts a cross, whatever. Yeah, I agree. Son's always back to goal now, and that's not what a Son you associate.
It's normally on the end of things as well, Son. I don't know what the problem is. I agree with you, Ben. There's no Perisic, Son issue. It's people just make that up.
He plays poorly with Sessegnon as well.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
There's something tactically that's wrong there, and it needs to be fixed. There's something wrong there. I'm not sure about it. Loads of people saying he wants to leave. After that celebration, there's no way he wants to leave.
That's easy journalism, isn't it? It's just I don't even pay. It comes on Facebook groups. Oh, Sonny wants to leave. I'm so glad I'm muted. I've muted this conversation. It's just slow news day, easy news day. Some wants to leave, wants to go to Liverpool because they're struggling there.
Or Real Madrid.
Liverpool. I saw the Real Madrid link though.
Going to Real Madrid, even though
Liverpool. It was Liverpool I saw today, and it's just for goodness sake.
I haven't seen that one.
But Richarliuson. What I do like about Richarliuson is he will put his foot in. He will close people down, and that in itself speeds the tempo up because it makes the other team panic, hack it out, and then you can pick up the pieces. So I think losing him isn't great. He should be back before the World Cup. I'm sure Conte said that he will be playing in the World Cup for Brazil if they pick him, meaning that he's going to be fit. It's a bit of a shame he's not around tomorrow. Just last 20 minutes, if we need a goal, have him on the bench. I'll be amazed if he isn't on the bench or somewhere in some capacity for Liverpool. Certainly with the Everton connection, he'll want to play in that. How have you rated his third of a season, I guess we'll call it, at the moment has?
Well, I really like Richarlison. So I think with what cards he's been dealt, stuck on the right or like coming onto the sub, I think he's done all right, to be honest. But for me, like he's our best presser in the squad. Like he just doesn't stop. And I still think he's going to succeed with us. I think people forget how when Son came in at Tottenham in his first season, everyone wanted him gone. I don't know why, but anyway. But that's what people didn't like him. I remember the first season from what I saw. But obviously the second season was a lot better. But like if you're playing him on the right, I don't know what you're expecting to see. Like if he played in the middle as an actual backup to Kane, like more minutes than he was before, then we'll see a lot better Richarlison. And even if he played on the left, we'll see a better Richarlison. But
that's why you build a squad so you can.
I still think he'll come good for us anyway. So
Richarlison's a solid player. He's only 25. Remember, he's not old.
He's been around for ages, hasn't he?
He's got plenty of time. He's a fighter. That's what Conte wants. He fights for every scrap and every morsel, every spoon of angel delight. He's a fighter. And that's what you need in a team. He's got the mentality. Him and Romero have that fighting street mentality. And we need that in the team. We need a few more players like that. We need a few more scrappy players that are going to go, they're ready to fight for the team and the fans and the manager. We need it. I don't like the slander of Richarlison. Yeah, 60 million is a lot of money, but wasn't 60 million. I mean, not many. I don't think any player's worth 60 million, but that's because I grew up in an era where 30 million for Berbatov was mad. Imagine how much Berbatov was.
It costs 80 million nowadays, probably, I think.
No, it cost like 500 billion pounds. That guy was magic. Give him time. He's a solid player, and when he's doing that cup competitions and he's in the centre for the cup competitions, he'll score loads of goals for us. I think he's brilliant.
I want him to score at least 10 Premier League goals if that's possible. But
I think competitions is where we can do it. If he can score in the League Cup and again in the FA Cup and possibly some other European competitions, but he can be aiming for that. But he just needs to keep fit.
Yeah. He's also a player, I think, who doesn't mind being on the bench, not because he's not playing, but because he thinks, I can force my way in. I'm happy to try and force my way in. Whereas a lot of players sulk if they're on the bench. I don't think he's like that. I think he has a self-belief that he.
Oh, his mic's gone.
All right, can't hear you.
Yeah, sorry, I accidentally.
Okay.
I think he's a player who doesn't mind being. I don't think he minds being on the bench because I think in his own mind he thinks, well, I'm on the bench now. Give me a chance. I'll force my way in. And I think you need that. You get so many players now. Like, I don't want to be on the bench, or I'll just sit on the bench, take all my money. I don't think he's like that at all. And I think for competition, very good, very good. Yeah. One player who has been on the bench, who's been coming off, not really set the world alight, doesn't look fit to me. Skipp. He played all right in the first half. He had that shot, which was a good save. I don't think it was going in, but at least he's going forward and trying to have a shot in a half where we are allergic to having shots. But yeah, does he look fit to you, Has, or is he?
I think he's still getting back to full fitness. Yeah. But I like Skipp, but I don't like him playing higher up as much as playing
Him and Basuma need to be swapped. Basuma should be where Skipp is, and Skipp should
that's
be.
Exactly what I think. I don't know why he's playing him further up.
That's what Skipp is good at. He's got recovery pace. That's what he's good at. He's not the fastest player, but he can turn on the afterburners and get back into a position, and he's got that sort of. And again, he's another player that leads by example, but he's not fully fit. Like, he's had a horrible time of it. So needs to play him back. Needs a few cup games, getting some minutes.
I'll be amazed if he doesn't play the full night against Forest. I'll be amazed.
I hope he does. I think it'll be great.
I think he will. I think he will.
It'll be great for him.
Another one, Basuma. When we signed Basuma, I was delighted. For me, he can do everything in midfield, and the amount of times he stopped us playing, he was brilliant last season when they came to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. But why hasn't it quite worked for him, Ben? Do you think?
I think he's got long COVID. Personally,
really,
I've seen people with long COVID, and it's a horrible thing to have. If you've never had something, not everyone gets it. I don't know the vaccination status or whatnot. I can't say anything because I don't know because loads of players weren't vaccinated, but it tells me that he's had COVID and it's really affected him. He could be like this for another half a year. It can really get you long COVID. So give him time. He's coming into a new system, but that's my belief that there's something wrong there. The utterly athletic player that we saw last, it doesn't seem anything like that. No. So that's my personal belief that when he got COVID in the pre-season tour, I think that's really done him in. I think that's what I think.
What do you think? Has the COVID just tactics not up to speed, or Conte's telling him to be more reserved?
I think it's tactical, mainly because at Brighton they were so used to having most of the ball. At Tottenham, he doesn't get as much of the ball, and he's sort of like rushing things and trying to like do something for the sake of doing something. It's just not working. And obviously, he's at a new team, right? He was at Brighton for how many years? I don't know, it's like 3-4 years. Something.
3-4 years, yeah.
Yeah. So he's still adjusting, but also like he's playing further back. When he was playing at Brighton, he was playing further up. So there's that too. I find that quite strange. I agree with Ben. I don't know why he's playing Skipp further up and Basuma further back. It makes no sense. But
I think Basuma can play the deep, can play the further forward.
He can play anywhere, Basuma. But there's something wrong there, and I don't know what to put my finger on with it. I don't know, but that's my opinion.
Conte spoke about his tactical indiscipline, and then like a game later, he made that stupid foul.
Too many stupid yellow cards really early in games, like petulant yellow cards. I mean, that's what done us in against West Ham. Like he was dominating that first 20 minutes, and then he clattered someone for absolutely no reason. And then he was just like couldn't tackle anyone for the rest of the game, and that's what really done him in then. But he is tactically inept. I've seen it. You can't clatter people that early in games. He's done it a couple of times.
Just come and smack.
He's trying to make a mark, isn't he, and trying to influence the game. But you've got to be sensible, haven't you? Which isn't something that most footballers are.
2 minutes into the game, where the ref's not going to book you usually 2 minutes. You don't do it 25 minutes into a game. You smash a player 25 minutes. No, you can't even book, mate.
I really like him. I think he'll come good. I think he's too good a player not to come good. Let's move on. Champions League. This is the table. We're top. No. I've never seen a Champions League or any kind of table with 4 teams in it with 1 game left, 2 points separating the top and the bottom. I've never seen that before.
So they have to beat us.
Every single one of those teams can go through to the knockout stages. I don't think I've ever seen that before either. A draw for us should be enough. Well, it will be enough. Yeah. Someone told me if we lose like 1-0 and then Sporting draw, then we go through as well because our goal difference is better than Frankfurt. But again, that's a horrendous attitude to go into a game with. Draw it and hope they draw. Lose it 1-0 by 1 goal and hope they draw. But I mean, we showed big character in this Bournemouth game, Ben. Do you think that? And I really hope that offside goal, that's on their minds, and that gives them a bit of fire in their belly and going, right, we should be in the final here, in the knockouts here. Let's get into that bloody final because we got robbed. But this is Tottenham. Do you think any of those will happen? The big character in the Bournemouth game will give us a bit of fire going forward, or the anger of that?
I'll tell you what I'd like to see. When we went to Norwich and won 4-0, whatever it was, 5-0. I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're going to see that. I don't think we're going to see that.
Marseille are a slightly better team than Norwich. I
like but as in just the way we were just dominated the game and just put them to cleaners and that was it. Yeah. But we won't do that. It's Tottenham. No. And also our away record in Europe's horrific.
And what have they got now? They've got a load of Arsenal and West Ham.
Ex-Arsenal,
West Ham players.
Payet, Sanchez, Guendouzi, Tavares.
So it's a fight. We got to go into this game like it's a fight. Get one of them sent off.
It's gonna be a horrible evening tomorrow, stress wise. I think
that's every evening or afternoon. Has you should know this. But do you see, Ben, any fire going into that game, being that what we did to Bournemouth there, and the offside goal, and the fact that Conte's not allowed in the dressing room as well, which I find very strange. Not just the touchline, but the dressing room. So do you think it'll be a kind of us against the world kind of siege mentality, and then we'll just, or do you think this will be Tottenham and it will just be for Christ's sake Tottenham?
He'll find a way to sneak into the dressing room. He'll go in with a Mr. Blobby. Blobby here. I don't know. But that's a stupid rule. He can't manage his players before a big game like that. It's absolutely ridiculous. Do
you think it will have a bearing?
Then
Mason, wouldn't it? I would have thought.
Be Mason and Stellini. He'll be
the same Stellini.
At the end of the day,
bald guy. Is he the bald guy, or is it
the guy with the thinning hair?
Right, okay.
At the end of the day, they shouldn't need to have their manager there. We should be going there and putting them to the sword. And we've proved we can play football. We can't let them do what they did to us when they came here, which was dominate the ball and be aggressive with us. We got to make them be petulant. We've got to frustrate them. I don't know if. Marseille were quite good on the ball. Guendouzi played out of his skin against us, and I see him doing it against us tomorrow. But we are a better team than them. Surely,
go and attack them, play quick, cause them problems, and yeah.
I think what concerns me the most is even when they had 10 men, I felt for the first 10 minutes they had 10 men, they were better than us. They were dominating the ball with 10 men. And I was like, really scared.
It's just we've got to go there, and the stadium's half full because of idiot Marseille and all that nonsense.
Will that play a part in anything? Do you think?
Don't think
Marseille
so.
fans will find a way to get into that stadium.
They'll find a way.
They're a persistent lot. I respect it. They're persistent, but at the end of the day, even if the stadium is empty, we should go there and try and beat them.
Yeah. I mean, that was my real annoyance with the Man United game. For me, it looked to me like Conte went there for a draw rather than go and get a win. Yeah. And fortune favours the brave. If you go there looking for a draw and the other team are bang at it, it's very, very, very difficult, I think, to change your mentality from negative to positive. Much easier to change it from positive to negative. And I mean, that Ajax game, the famous Ajax game, we went out and we put everything out there, got our just desserts. So if we'd have gone out with a whimper in a semi-final, it would have been absolutely devastating and heartbreaking. This is a huge game. Go there for the win. Don't go, Lloris in goal, the rest of them up front, anything stupid like that. Make sure you're solid defensively, but go there with the aim of, our aim here is to score goals, which I don't think we did at Man United. But do you think we will? Because we always never do this. And recent history will tell us, certainly in that first half, we won't.
Well, Lloris said it's like a cup final, which means which means you know what's going to happen. But I'm not expecting it to be an easy game.
No,
I'm actually very scared because also I don't want us to play Europa League. I'd rather if we go out like fourth.
Yeah.
Because I want my Thursday night still.
Emmerdale Farm, mate. Emmerdale Farm.
Yeah. But it's just... And also, I don't think we'll take the Europa League seriously if we went there. No. I don't think. No. We'll just put out mixed teams and lose probably in the next round. Yeah. So we have to qualify. tomorrow. Like
It's
convincingly
money.
for me.
It's money we need for the team. Money is always good. I like money.
And it's being able to attract the best players as well. If you're in the certainly in January, do you want to come in January? In February, you could be playing in Champions League, or you could be playing in Europa League. It's
But yeah, I'm not very confident. I'm going to tell you I am for the sake of it, but I'm just not very confident.
We'll come to predictions a little bit later on. But yeah, I mean, how do you think the game will pan out? Not predictions for score, but Ben, but how it will pan out. I think I've got a horrible feeling we'll sit back, try and soak up pressure, which we're not good enough at, rather than go there and imagine you can sit back if you go 1-0 up. Invite them on, counter attack. Not when it's 0-0, because that's just dangerous. And yeah, but it's very difficult to call. Obviously, we don't know the team. We know Emerson will play, but we don't know the team. So therefore, we don't know how we're going to kind of line up and whether we're going to attack in any force or whatever. But surely Conte and the players can see when you play quickly, you cause teams problems. When you play slow, so easy to defend against. How do you think we'll approach the game? And how do you think the first half, 20, 25 minutes will pan out?
It's the same thing every week, Pinky. We try and take it's the Pinky and the brain at the back. Eric Dier and Ben Davies is what's going to happen. We're going to do
and
what
Sanchez, I think, as well.
Oh God, the Pinky, the brain, and Bozo the clown.
Because Romero's out, so who's going to play Sanchez? Probably.
We're losing.
Well, it'll be the same defence that started yet. It won't.
Longley played in the middle against Bournemouth. So
what if he plays Dier at right centre back and Longley in the middle, like he did in the second half against
Davies on the left? Yeah,
he might do it.
As much as people hate on Eric Dier, I think leadership in terms of that defence, he's the best we've got without Emerson. Without
Emerson.
So I think if Dier's there, Dier was obviously rested against Bournemouth because generally you don't just
Dier
take
will
him out
play.
if he's fit.
So
he is straight back into that team in the centre of defence, I'm pretty sure. And I think it'll probably be Sanchez on the right. Christ.
I'd rather play Longley on the right. I'd rather play Longley out of position than play Sanchez.
Yeah.
Sanchez is
probably Tanganga given a go there, but
I don't think you can in a game of this magnitude. You need players who are used to the system and are properly match fit.
It's either that or Sanchez doing calamities for every 5 minutes.
Well, pathetically enough, I'd say put Sanchez in it over Tanganga. Then I think both of them have got a mistake in them. At least Sanchez match fit
calamities against Zaha, let alone Marseille.
Do you think Hazard will go 3 in the midfield, 2 in the midfield?
I think go 3-5-2. I think, because we just don't. I don't think he'll go there to win. I'm really worried he won't go there to win.
I don't understand how managers can do that. You can be defensive, you can be negative, but you've got to have some way of winning the game, some idea of winning the game.
One thing's for sure, though, it won't be easy.
It's not the Bournemouth thing.
We won't do the easy way.
If you're going for a draw, you get a goal really early, and then you defend for the rest of the game. That's what you got to do. We just got to hope we get lots of corners because that's the only thing we do.
Nothing we score from.
Yeah. I've never been a fan.
Tottenham at corners. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I've never been a fan.
Coach is doing bits, isn't he? That attacking set piece coach, I think.
Yeah,
they've got one in.
Gianni knows what he's doing.
Yeah. I've never been a fan of the defensive kind of mindset. I mean, people say that Conte's style is defensive, which it is, but you can still have a positive mindset with a defensive tactic, and I think. If we go there with a negative mindset, we'll get beat there. If we go there with a positive mindset, we'll be all right. We'll be in the knockouts. But yeah, predictions. It's been quite a quick show. Not a huge amount to talk about, being that we've won. Normally when you lose, there's a lot to talk about because everyone wants to moan about absolutely everybody. As Spurs fans, we don't really know what to do when we win and come back from 2-0 down. But anyway, predictions. We'll start with you, Ben. I can't give an actual score prediction because it's too much tempting fate and I can't do it to myself. But like I say, if we go there with a positive mindset, I think we'll win. If we go there with a negative mindset, I think we'll lose. But up to you, scores or not, or just a prediction of win or lose. But how do you see it going tomorrow?
I'm thinking a 2-2 draw. Desmond, I think it's going to be.
You thought of the same thing I was going to say.
Well, that would be fine because that would put us through. It obviously would be nervy, but it would put us through. So get our end goal there.
I think we'll concede early again. It's just that we cannot defend. But it's the Danny Blanchflower quote. This is why we play the game, to see who wins. But only time will tell. Hopefully they go there with a positive mindset and they play for their manager, because their manager has been wrongfully not allowed to play. Go with a positive, win for the manager. I mean, that's what we got to do.
Yeah, win for themselves as well, they want to be playing in this Champions League, surely. Yeah. But
you'd hope so.
Predictions from you? You agreed with a 2-2?
Literally, I was literally going to say 2-2. We can see first, because also I think it will be like obviously lots of drama because it's Tottenham. It won't be easy. We'll concede, we'll score, then they'll score again, and then we'll score like with 10 minutes to go or something like that. And it'll be like, yay, we're through, and it's like a draw.
Yeah, I mean, as long as we get through, like Ben said with Sessegnon's goal, as long as we get through, I couldn't care less how we get through. As long as we're in that
I'd just rather it was more relaxing than we won. But
Tottenham and relaxing have never been in the same sentence since
ever. Probably ever. But under Poch, we used to win games like 3 or 4-0 sometimes. And that's all right.
Yeah, but
generally under Poch, certainly at home, if we scored first early doors,
it was like that was a done deal after that, wasn't it?
Yeah,
really.
But I think, obviously, if you win the group, you get a second place team, which not necessarily always the way, is it? When we beat Real Madrid, we won that group. Some poor team who have worked their skins off to get top of their group go and get little old Real Madrid in the knockout stage and get battered out. So
also Bayern Munich, Inter Milan, and Barcelona in the same group, aren't they? So
yeah. So it's not always the best thing to finish top of the group. But I've always said with Champions League, same with World Cup, same with Euros, the group stages don't really matter in a sense. It's about getting through. The tournament starts. So
it's true. I agree with that. Yeah.
Tournament starts in February, whenever the knockouts are going to start. We battered Real Madrid. They looked nothing. They won it that year. We scraped through against Barcelona last day, got through to the final. So it's about getting through. That's all this is. If it's a 2-2 draw, if it's a 10-10 draw, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
How about 10-0? I don't know if I can watch that.
Well, I won't be watching the next round because I'll have had a heart attack. If it's 10-10, I won't be watching any more games because I'll have had a heart attack. But we'll still be through, is my point. But it's all about getting through. It doesn't matter how.
No, I agree with you. I agree. It's just we won't make it easy. I just don't see us making it easy. No.
But yeah, as long as we get through, I don't care. 2-2, I'd take that now just because we would be.
We'll go through.
But I think we can win. It's just the mindset for me. It's the mindset for me, and that's my worry. And if we needed.
Isn't there a danger, Chris, if we go there to draw or not lose, that there's a danger that just like when we aim for top 4 and we don't finish top 4 because we didn't aim for the title when the consequence finished top 4, like we aim to draw, we lose. So that at least if we don't win, we draw. If that makes sense.
It would almost be better if the only way we could get through was if we win, because then there's no choice but to go with a positive attitude. It allows you to, where you can get a draw, you can, so I'm a little bit worried. But hopefully we go there with a positive attitude and do the business and just get through. With the fact how Arsenal are doing at the moment, we can't afford to give them anything on us. And
because if we get knocked out, Twitter's going to go nuts again.
And it'll be a 2-hour show because there'll be a lot of stuff to talk about.
2-hour show.
Elon's going to be like, why the hell is Twitter going mad? Is it because it's just Tottenham lost? It's like, make Tottenham lose more.
Also, if we get knocked out, my phone's going to go ballistic as well because I've got friends for Arsenal fans. So it's horrible.
Although with them as well, I think this World Cup could be a bit of a kick in the teeth for them. You know how sometimes half-time comes at the wrong time?
Yeah.
I think it could really not derail them, but I think it could kill all their momentum, which...
I hope so, but...
I do as well, but I think it could be interesting.
I'm quite worried about Arsenal, I'm not going to lie.
I am as well. I put a tweet out on yesterday going, they're going to win the league, aren't they? The amount of things I got back going...
But if they sign players in January as well... I think they could have a real push for the title.
I still think City will win. I think they're the better team, but I don't think there's any chance now Arsenal finishing outside of top 4.
No, I think they're nailed on too. Yeah, top 4.
But
it's what happens when you spend 400 million, unlike us that spend for nothing. When you back your manager, he gets the philosophy he wants, and they start playing football properly. Who would have thought? But you've got to speculate to accumulate it.
I do think they'll become a bit derailed after the World Cup. I do think
of
it's
course.
going to be
I hope
comes
so.
at the wrong
I
time.
hope so,
and
but it depends how they
For a
react.
young team, they're going to have to learn how to roll with the punches. But
away to Chelsea at the weekend. That'll be a
I'll see
test for
Chelsea.
them. That'll be interesting.
Is it this weekend? Away to Chelsea.
Yeah, it's on Sunday. It's the lunchtime game on the day that we play Liverpool.
Before our games against Liverpool, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, just a quick word on the Liverpool game. I mean, they're all over the place at the moment. Cue Dr. Tottenham.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, if there was ever a chance, I know it's our ground has where we have beaten them before. If there's ever a chance to beat them, and then if we can follow that up with a win against Leeds, that's a really good end to the not quite
so we'll
half the
beat
season,
Liverpool
but
and then
before the
lose
World
to
Cup.
Leeds. Got it.
That's Tottenham for you, I guess.
Well, they're both at home, so they're both at home. So for me, I'd back us to beat anybody at home.
Yeah.
I mean, we should, but especially because Liverpool, for me, like they really are really not missing money because he's gone, but they're suffering without him.
But their defense as well, go at them. Their defense is
Trent,
all over the
I don't know
place.
what's happened to Trent. I have no idea what's happened to Trent.
Yeah.
Why he's suddenly gone off the boil like this, and then their midfield is not as strong as it was before. No. And then like Nunes, for me, I don't think he fits their system, and Diaz hasn't stepped up. But the thing with Liverpool is that you forget is that sometimes they beat City like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
In a game, they can just suddenly turn it on. So it's not going to be an easy game again.
It's the games against teams that they're expected to lose against, that they're losing, and against the top teams. They'll see us as a top team, fourth in the league.
I think they'll raise their game against us anyway.
Yeah. But I think if there was ever a game, Ben, to go attacking, it's against a team whose defence, that Joe Gomez thing was just crazy. But and the second goal wasn't much better. If there's ever a game to go and attack a team, it's that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see how the Marseille game goes first.
Thing is, we have to manage a lot of games in a short space of time with the Marseille-Liverpool. Marseille, we have to go through. Liverpool is like a big game, and then I guess you can rest players in the cup, and then finish off with like your strongest 11 against Leeds, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
we've got a month to rest. We've got a month to rest. Play every single player for every single game. We've got a month off.
Yeah,
let's hope they come back unscathed because
the only thing you can hope for.
I think certainly in March there's going to be a lot of fatigue amongst a lot of the top players. I think January will be quite a mad transfer window, not just for us, but a lot of teams, because they'll have to be recouping players to get over some of that fatigue. Unfortunately, Erling Haaland has a month off because Norway didn't qualify.
Is he injured or not?
Yeah, but he's a machine, isn't he? He'll probably be back.
He's going to be in Spain. He's going to be, hopefully not Marbella, but...
like Richarliuson will probably play every game for Brazil, won't he? You'd imagine.
Kane will play every game for England, Son every game for South Korea, Højbjerg for Denmark.
Bentancur for Uruguay, aren't they in it?
Yeah.
But then, all of the top teams, Arsenal will have a lot of players.
Is Romero going? I think
Romero will be going if he's fit.
Yeah.
Argentina.
Lloris
will be going.
Dier will be going. Højbjerg,
all of us,
Bentancur.
pretty much.
I'm not sure Dier will be going yet.
He is, unfortunately.
Is he? Oh, bloody hell.
You'd imagine Perisic will be going.
Yeah, he will definitely be going. Yeah.
Hopefully Emerson gets injured.
Emerson's definitely not going to get called up.
He's not getting called up from Brazil. He's not playing. Imagine Emerson. I mean, like,
one can always hope, though.
It's the kid. It's like, who can we be sorry for? Oh, let's pick him.
I think someone big will get big time injured during the World Cup.
I think there's someone big will come in for Emerson for a minute. That's what we
No. It's not going to be that much of a crazy World Cup. I think someone big will get injured. I just hope it's not Kane, Son, or any of our players. Hopefully, it's like a Foden or a De Bruyne or someone like that. Or,
De Bruyne would be interesting.
I mean, that's for another show. That's for another show when there's no Spurs games to talk about. But not really much else to talk about. It's just this Marseille game is the big talking point, and we don't know what's going to happen in that at the moment. So
biggest game of the season.
Yeah, at the moment, absolutely, definitely, and that worries me as well. We don't generally do well in big games that we have to win. But yeah, been pleasure having both of you guys on. And thanks so much for coming on. Has for the first time. Welcome anytime. Thanks for everybody who's watching and in the chat as well. Please hit the like. Please hit the subscribe before you go. If you like a bit of magic, Chris's Magic, it's my side channel. Wednesdays, 7:30 p.m. Little magic trick every week. And these guys also have a channel as well, each. Or Ben is being very greedy like myself. He has 2. So yeah,
you have 2. You've got
the coffee company, and you've been recruited to Tottenham on tour as well. So yeah, where can people find those? What can people expect in future shows and upcoming?
So you can find us on the coffee company, which is my little fly on the wall little thing where you can come somewhere and be chill for an hour and a half every single day. The only show that goes live at 2:00. There are pretenders that believe they can stream at the same time as me, but we only stream that's at 2:00 every single day. Fridays at 3:30, where we just try and be nice to each other. We talk about different people's cultures. We try and learn things. We talk about coffee. Sometimes we talk football, but most of the time we're just trying to be nice to each other because the world is such a mean and horrible place at the moment. And just be nice to each other. The YouTube thing, there's so much beef, there's complaining.
Oh God, yeah.
Let's just be nice to each other. Come by the coffee company, let's drink a nice cup of coffee and let's just be chill. And of course, if you don't want chill, you can go to Tottenham on tour with Brian Daigle, Brian Ireland, and Mr. Danny Kiriakou, and myself now, who's recently been recruited. We are coming back bigger than ever. When Brian arrives back in the UK in the next week, we will be going for the rest of the year. We will be doing a lot of work in January during the transfer window. You know why? And
a lot of work.
Big things planned for Tottenham on tour, and we're going to get there. We've just hit 5,000 subscribers, so big up everyone that's subscribed, and we're going to get there. Tottenham on tour is going to be brilliant. So catch us over there, 2 channels. So who would have thought?
Make sure after this you jump over there, hit the subscribe on those 2 if you haven't already, and the notification bell as well, so you can be lazy and don't have to worry about when the show's on. YouTube will tell you. And has Spur TV.
Yeah.
What can people expect with that?
So I do preview shows and then reviews/previews. So it's like I stream normally on a Thursday evening, quite early, 6, 7, and like a Sunday evening. But this week might be a bit different because we're playing on Sunday and there's no one going to get back from the game until like really late. Yeah. So I might be streaming on Saturday, I think, because on this Thursday I'm busy doing something else. So probably this Saturday I'll be streaming most likely at some point. But my normal stream times are Thursday nights and Sunday nights. Excellent. Obviously, if we get out in Europa League, I'm gonna have to change it again. So fingers crossed we win the game. We get
be
through.
Positive, Has. Be positive, Has. We'll be able to do your Thursday show. Yeah.
It's just I just hope we go through because if we don't, the consequences are just going to be horrific.
I think we will go through, but again, have to have that positive mindset. Going there to win and to qualify rather than let's just
so like and subscribe to my channel. I also do solo videos sometimes, just on the odd occasion. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's @hasspur92.
Excellent. Yeah, Has's Twitter handle is in the description, as are both Ben's and Has's channel links.
And also, you can find me sometimes on other people's channels, but I don't hunt specifically who because it just happens when it's so.
Follow Has on Twitter, and then you'll find out whenever he's on someone else's channel. Go onto his channel, hit the likes on the videos, watch the old videos, hit the subscribe notification bell. Then go over to Ben's coffee company and Tottenham on Tour, like, subscribes, and then Let's Talk Tottenham and Chris's Magic as well. And the same thing, you know the drill by now. And pleasure having both of you guys on. Welcome anytime. And let's
come on, you Spurs.
Let's hope we beat Marseille, get into the knockout stages, and then it's anybody's game from February onwards. But yeah, we'll also be talking on Friday as well. That's when the Marseille review is going to be done and the Liverpool preview as well. Hopefully I have a Liverpool fan on for that as well. So yeah, make sure you check that out. But in the meantime, tomorrow, biggest game of the season, massive game. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Thanks so much for watching. For everybody who joined in the live chat and added comments, before you go, please leave a like and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Also, please hit that notification bell. That'll give you a notification every time we're about to go live, and it's all completely free. For those who missed the live show, you can catch this whenever you want on Let's Talk Tottenham's YouTube channel. Please also hit the like, subscribe and notification bell, and everybody please leave feedback, comments, suggestions in the comments section on the YouTube videos. For those of you who listen to the audio podcast, thank you so much for listening. Anyone who wants that audio podcast, you can pick that up wherever you get your podcast from. We're back Mondays 7:30pm UK time and Fridays 12:30pm UK time. Alternatively, if you go to Twitter at @LTalkTottenham, Instagram, Let's Talk Tottenham Podcast, you can find all the information there. Anyone who wants something a little bit different, also do a magic show. So I do one trick a week, which drops Wednesday, 7:30pm UK time. Chris's Magic on YouTube is where you'll find that. But in the meantime,